All right, welcome back, everyone. We're going to go over our two trades for today. We were green on two, 100% accuracy, so I'm pretty hyped. The first trade we took was AGRI. So AGRI popped up on the scanner, a little bit after 4. Nothing came up until 4:20. And, I was like, okay, the stock's popping up, but there's no news. So I did have to be cautious with it. I wanted to make sure I didn't get in at least at the top. I waited for a pullback, waited for this green candle, and then I got it at 721, and then it flushed, and I was like, huh, okay, what seems to be going on? Like, why is this not, retracing? I gave it some time. Even though the volume was pretty light, I'm like, okay, let this test a break of VWAP. If I'm gonna take a trade underneath the VWAP, I want it to break the VWAP because usually that will be a pretty good breakthrough if there's enough volume entering, and obviously if it meets the other four criteria. The one criteria that was missing was the news. There's no news on this stock. So as soon as it broke this VWAP, I was holding for about 4 minutes. It's a little bit longer than I'd like, and I got in at 721 and got out 751. As soon as it broke this level right here, this is what I was waiting for, breaking the top of here, which was pretty much the VWAP at this area, and it broke through. I could have held a little bit longer, could have rode my shares up out for a bit further, but I didn't want to risk it. I wanted to just keep my profit. Base it was the first thing I wanted to take in the morning before I took on a bigger risk. So this is what that stock was missing. Next trade that we have was ZOOZ, so ZOOZ. So ZOOZ popped up on the scanner today. I saw this pop up on the feed. They have a private placement for Bitcoin reserve strategies. So these Bitcoin reserve strategies, I've been seeing Ethereum, I've been seeing Solana, more cryptos, and I had to jump on the opportunity. It's been bullish lately, not all the time. I did need to make sure that there was enough volume incoming. So this was enough green candles for me to kind of, okay, I'm going to take my first trade. At least enough volume for me. If this volume was like 10,000, 5,000, I wouldn't be looking at it. But this is still not so bad for, first trade in the morning or early in the morning. It could be more, but it's still not as bad. So I got it at 450 and I exited at 517. So 450 right here. I wanted to take a trade here. I was hesitant. Again, I was hesitating a little bit because why? Well, look at this top. I saw it squeeze up, rejected instantly, squeezed up again, and then rejected instantly. And then what do you know? This big green candle comes up, and I'm like, okay, I'm getting in. Confirming the volume, confirming the move up, and it goes up high, and I got out right here at the top of this candle, and for pretty good profit. Hey, $67. That puts me on the month, on the day actually, not so bad. I'm pretty much green on the month again. So we're gonna go back to the calendar. We're gonna look at July, and we're at $96.98. So almost $100 day, which is really good. Something I want to keep doing is I want to set a daily goal. I've been doing weekly goals, but I think I want to transition to a daily goal now, so that way I can have a target goal. It might be better, and we'll try it out. But those were my two trades. ZOOZ, I didn't think it would go that much higher. When I'm looking at this on the daily chart, I'm already seeing that the 200 moving average is already at 176. I'm like, okay, that's a little bit of a red flag. This is kind of like a blue sky setup normally when it's making the new all-time highs. So this broke through this level, 440. So right here, you see how it broke past $5. We'll look on the 1 minute chart here. So 1 minute, a blue sky setup is just breaking all-time highs. So we don't know where the roof is, and now we know the roof is going to be 550. So if this was to go up again, which I don't think it will, it sold off pretty hard. Now we know that this is the next roof, or at least new all-time high. So this could have gone something where it could have gone up to $10. Who knows? But I made sure to take my profits. I was like, okay, I'm content with this. 67 on this trade. Smaller win on the first trade, bigger win on the second trade. I think that's how I want to keep approaching the rest of the July and for the rest of my trading. Smaller and then bigger. Not bigger and then lose it all next trade, or just go in full size first trade. Because I got to remember I'm limited to my share size. But yeah, that was my trading for today. Pretty light, so it wasn't too stressful. Maybe the first one. The first one was a bit stressful. I was like, I don't know. I might have fucked up, but I gave it some time. there were still enough bidders on the level 2. So when I'm seeing enough bidders on level 2, when there's more people buying versus the ask, that's telling me that there's more people placing in bid orders. And eventually, when there's more volume incoming to break levels, so AGRI, look at this in a 1 minute chart right here. I pretty much traded this area right here, 720, right in this area. This is where I got in. I held for this dip, so it dipped further. I could have got in for $1 cheaper, just $1 cheaper, and have to squeeze up over $1. Would have been over $100. So I need to work on these timings better. Honestly, it's just the patience. It's like, okay, when do you pull the trigger? I am pulling the trigger a little bit too soon. Gotta give it some time. I was just rushing, so it's hard. You want to be patient. I gotta learn how to be patient. Even though day trading has made me a lot more patient person, sometimes my trades aren't patient. They're seemingly rushed. So I have to just slow it down. And if I were to do that, if I slowed it down maybe by another minute, hey, I could have got in further, maybe 650 instead of 720. Now I would have much more profit. So that will go a long way, especially with larger size. Once I start taking 200 shares with these $6, $7 stocks, that's going to matter in the long run. Cool. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the episode. Pretty short, quick. Don't have to explain myself why I messed up or too much versus the other few days where I messed up. Yeah, recording that was kind of defeated my confidence a little bit, but I always just have to keep talking to myself that this is something I'm going to do. I already devoted myself to doing it, and honestly, I'm totally okay. I think it's going to go really well. All right. Hopefully we do good the rest of July. Hopefully you guys do good, and keep it up. Stay consistent, and have a good rest of your day.